So, 4 House Democrats have traveled to El Salvador to call attention to the plight of a man the Trump administration kicked the hell out, even though he shouldn't have been. He's sitting in the Salvadorian prison, even though the Supreme Court said you can't do that to him. Of course, we're talking about Abrego Garcia here. So, Yasmin Ansari of Arizona, sorry about that, Maxine Dexter of Oregon, Maxwell Frost of Florida, and Robert Garcia of California showed up on Sunday in the Central American nation of El Salvador to investigate the condition of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who had lived in the States for more than a decade. The Trump administration grabbed him and kicked him out, even though he had protections from the Supreme Court. The Trump administration has admitted it was done in error and literally couldn't give a rat's ass to do anything. So the administration says it has no power to bring him back and yada, yada, yada. So in a news conference on Monday in El Salvador's capital, the Democratic representatives and Abrego Garcia's lawyer said they were in El Salvador demanding his safe return home. The group said they hope to continue to pressure authorities for his release and that their petition to meet with Abrego Garcia had been flat out denied. Part of what the Trump administration does is they do so much that they try to make sure people forget about them breaking the law, forget about them completely ignoring the Supreme Court. We're not going to be the last members of Congress and senators that are here to make sure that he's released and that our country is following our laws. That was Frost that had said that. So Abrego Garcia lived in Maryland with his wife and 3 children, and they're all American citizens before he was deported. His protected legal status prohibited him from being deported specifically to El Salvador, and he was deported on one of those 3 early planes. Frost said the 4 representatives were in El Salvador to build off work of Van Hollen, the senator that went there a couple days before, and that they are inquiring about where Garcia is being held, under what conditions, and so on. Chris Newman, a lawyer representing Abrego Garcia, added that his primary concern is Garcia's access to counsel. We know nothing about Abrego Garcia's whereabouts since the staged photo op on Thursday with Senator Van Hollen. Don't get the wrong idea. They're not trying to say Van Hollen was a part of anything. They're just saying they set up a little, here you can see him BS, and then told everybody to bugger off. We demand to immediately know where he is and have access to him. And it goes on here. So Justice Department lawyers said last week they have no power to do anything. And they're also doubling down and saying he was engaged in human trafficking and terrorism and one of those 13 gang members, yet not one shred of credible evidence has been brought before the press, the courts, nobody. Van Hollen, a drawing. Yeah, exactly. Right. They didn't even bring Simon in to make one. Right. Van Hollen unsuccessfully lobbied the Salvadorian government for his return and basically, just got that one little quick photo op and that's it. So there's a warning here that Democrats are increasingly amplifying rather than debate President Trump's hardline immigration policy or the merits of the administration's invocation of national security to carry out these deportations. Democratic lawmakers are zeroing in on the issue of due process, with some noting that the Supreme Court and lower court federal judges found Abrego Garcia was deported without a proper hearing. And Sari said she finds it extremely alarming that Trump officials seem to have no regard for due process. So, quote here, even with all of the illegal actions we've seen over the last couple of months, I think this is the one that terrifies me the most because it comes down to the future of our democracy and nothing less. There's a few more things in here. We've got Nayib Bukaki party there, the Salvadorian president, going on. And then there's Trump talking about homegrowns and the need for more jails. But the bottom line here is that there's serious games being played, and it's about to affect natural born citizens, not just ones that had protections. This whole thing if this doesn't show you the true nature of humility and care for human race and all the things that you would like to see in leaders to show that they're not dictators, they're not there. This administration has none of it. They're just basically taking all their dogs out and shooting them at the quarry.
I mean, it's all well and good, this, bringing up that, this Garcia guy all the time. There's a whole bunch of other people who were taken out who were completely innocent, just because, one had an autism tattoo and, and another one was like a makeup artist and just rubbish tattoo. There's all these other people as well. No one's actually mentioned any of those, which is kind of like disappointing. They should be, they should all be ganged in together. Sorry to use the phrase gang. That's probably not a good word either.
Yeah. And so far, I don't see a lot of rich white collars in the group at all. Yeah.
Not yet.
So, oh my gosh. And, like he says, that's not all. And there's more coming. Watch this space, people, because the next upload is going to have more. Where are you going here so far on the first one?
Yeah, off to California, because the mayor of Lancaster, Rex Paris, is facing national backlash over remarks suggesting the city should eliminate its homeless population by giving them all the fentanyl they want. Yeah, there you go. Help yourself. Yeah. The controversial comments were made during a February city council meeting where Paris interrupted a resident criticizing the city's homelessness policies, including an initiative to relocate unhoused individuals to an abandoned golf course. Oh, does Trump know about that? Paris responded, "What I want to do is give them free fentanyl. I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to give them all the fentanyl they want." Pressed by a local outlet, KTTV, Paris doubled down, saying he was specifically referring to what he called the critical element amongst the unhoused individuals he claims were released from prisons and now make up 40 to 45% of the homeless population there. He says they are responsible for most of our robberies, most of our rapes, and at least half of our murders, Paris said, without providing any evidence, of course, to support these claims. The mayor also stated he didn't expect his remarks to be taken literally. Okay.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. But argued that fentanyl is already so widely accessible that giving it away would make no difference. It might piss off the dealers.
Is he saying he wants Canada to start exporting it?
Yeah, well, Mexico. Yeah. He wants homegrown, doesn't he? In the same interview, Paris expressed support for extreme federal action, saying, "Quite frankly, I wish the president would give us a purge because we do need a purge of these people." Okay, why didn't you just give them free burgers and put rat poison in it? It's the same thing. Just a little bit of genocide.
If he's blaming this on ex-cons and whatnot. Well, here, buddy, how about instead of privatizing prisons for profit, you put up state-run prisons that actually help people learn how to be members of society instead of the criminal fringe?
Yeah, well, at least teach them how to become fentanyl dealers.
Going to need a lot of them.
He says it is harsh, of course it is, but it's my obligation as mayor of the city of Lancaster to protect the hardworking families that live here, and I am no longer able to do it. Critics, including Johnson Irvin, a Democrat who ran against Paris in the last mayoral election, he said he's called for his resignation. Irvin told the Los Angeles Times that Paris' remarks were not only inhumane, but disqualifying for public service. Pretty much so.
I agree.
Unless you're a Nazi, I suppose. Anyone willing to give homeless people all the fentanyl they want, also suggests that President Trump should allow a purge of the homeless population, has no business in public office. Paris, who has served Lancaster's mayor since 2008, maintains that his city is offering more innovative solutions to homelessness than any other in the country. Well, it doesn't really sound like it, does it?
Oh, what's next? Is he going to start offering one-way tickets to El Salvador?
Well, yeah, just round them up, ship them out.
Yeah. We have a lovely vacation we're going to send you on. This is unbelievable the way society is like diving so far backwards in a regressive state. This has to be stopped.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. What? I'm so scared to see what we might have to report next, because it's getting to the point where there's so much bad that we don't get a lot of laughs out anymore. It's starting to drive me nuts.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, people, please don't be stupid. No, be stupid. Don't be criminally stupid. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So, go break into an old barn somewhere and discover that cats have mutated into warriors and they're about to attack. Give us some fodder.
Well, a cat army at least.
If you're new here, click subscribe on your way out the door. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Click shits and giggles.
Yeah. Okay. If you're new here for shits and giggles, click schmitch and wiggles on the way out, and maybe the thumb up button. I don't know.
And the dingly dangly belly bell. And don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Yeah, or you say something. Say something like, mayoral. Is that the right word? No, I don't know. Give up. Just say.
Tell us the dumbest thing you'd be willing to do to get yourself in the news.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we'll see you in the news.